You know, I have to come and wonder, if you guys haven't seen episode 83, go freaking watch it. I have to say, that was one of the best episodes that I've ever watched of this show, just because of how heartbreaking it was. I'm not going to get into much of a spoiler review, even though I kind of did spoil it. Whatever. I guess at this point I have to, because of what I'm talking about in this video. So, if you haven't seen episode 83, it's very heartbreaking because Garmadon is alive. We know this because of episode 82's arm that came out of that stone, the Temple of Resurrection. But as Garmadon comes back to life, he's trying to remember things. He knows Harumi summoned her, so he goes and releases Harumi from the prison. The ninja find out about this and go investigate the break-in. They discover that the Kryptarian prison has been broken into. Garmadon releases his syndicate of, bikers and stuff, and then, basically releases Mr. E, Harumi, Kilo, and Ultraviolet, and then they basically take over the prison as some temporary base of operations, because Harumi tells Garmadon that not yet at least, Lloyd is going to come for him, which he exactly does. At one point, Lloyd's emotions clouds his judgment, so he locks his friends away in one of the rooms of the Bounty, turns his car on, parachutes down. I don't know why he didn't use air jitsu, but at this point I don't really care about it, because ninja don't have to use ninjutsu, air jitsu. They don't have to use powers to be ninjas, just like the ninjas in the movies didn't have to use their mechs to be ninjas. I mean, they weren't really ninjas if they used a bunch of mechs and vehicles and stuff, but anyway. Lloyd parachutes down to his car, drives to Kryptarian, does a major break-in into the place, looking all Avenger-like, and then once he traps himself into the prison, where Garmadon comes, and it's kind of funny because Garmadon has powers which before he never truly possessed an elemental form or power of himself. He never really did. Lloyd had taken the green power, and if you know from the elemental masters of Ninjago before, as an elemental master has a kid, that powers of that elemental master passes to the kid. But in this case, because Garmadon's evil form was resurrected, he was resurrected with powers of his own. Harumi states in this episode that he can unlock his true potential, which is pretty cool, because Garmadon seems to do that while he's fighting Lloyd. Now, get this, Lloyd is losing. He's trying to save Garmadon, but you have to remember, the good side of Garmadon is not alive. That side has passed. The evil side of Garmadon is alive. And because I've stated this in my previous videos, because the evil form of Garmadon lives, Garmadon will not be able to be defeated, because he will not hold back from defeating his true enemy, Lloyd Garmadon, his son, the Green Ninja. Now, it's pretty cool because when you're reading the description of episode 84, Big Trouble, Little Ninjago, it states this: the ninja race to save Lloyd is the most powerful than ever. Lord Garmadon creates an enormous colossi or colossus to help him rule Ninjago and defeat the ninja. Now, in episode 83, when it ended, Lloyd had been thrown out of the Kryptarian prison through all the walls and had been left to rot. While he was hurt, his air was knocked out, and he had a picture of his hand of him and his father when Garmadon was good again and he was his sensei. They had a picture, and that picture flew out of his hand, kind of symbolizing that Lloyd's father, Sensei Garmadon, doesn't exist anymore. Lord Garmadon, or as he's now known, Emperor Garmadon, now exists. And I guess Harumi's some sort of empress. I don't know how that works. I mean, they'd have to get married for her to be an empress, right? But here's the weird thing. If Misako and Wu get caught by Garmadon, Garmadon will kill Misako, will kill Wu, just because any form of love is a threat to his evil. He cannot be evil if he loves someone. So, basically, episode 84 kind of seems like, because in episode 83, because Garmadon discovers his true powers, Harumi said, I believe at one point, you have the power to create and destroy. Now, if this is formally true, when it says Lord Garmadon creates an enormous colossi, it means with his Oni and dragon powers, he creates the colossi and basically rules it with his ultimate power of the Oni and the dragon. Mostly the Oni, since Garmadon represents the Oni side of the struggle between the Oni and the dragon within the first Ninjitsu Master, as this is passed down to Wu and Garmadon. And then Lloyd seems to have both Oni and dragon as well, just like the first Ninjitsu Master. But the cool thing is, when Lloyd and Garmadon were fighting, since Garmadon has powers and Lloyd has powers, you could see the struggle between both powers. Garmadon's powers was stronger, was ruling over Lloyd, but that's just because he was unlocking his true potential. When I believe this, Lloyd has, just like Sensei Garmadon said in Season 3 of the show, Lloyd has barely scratched the surface of his true power, stating that Lloyd's true potential might still be locked. It is possible that in episode 84, to defeat Garmadon and his enormous colossi, Lloyd will have to discover his true potential and his ultimate power between the Oni and the dragon to destroy and defeat Garmadon before he destroys the city and destroys the ninja. Anyway, guys, that's my theory for what happens in the next episode. If you would like to ask me some questions and figure out some things for yourself, or if you're just confused at all, I recommend going first, watching episode 83 of the show, maybe even episode 82 if you really need to, and then come back to me with any questions you have, because when episode 84 comes out next Friday, I will be doing a review of the season, of the episode, and my overall consumption of what season 9 might entail. Peace out, guys, and don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and you will get more talks about Lloyd and Garmadon. Roar.